Ministry of HRD and Government of India for technical programs, and Bar Council of India for law programs. GIBS is currently offering postgraduate programs like MBA, MBA International Business, and MCA Integrated, and undergraduate courses namely BBA LLB, BA LLB, and BBA. It has been graded A by National Assessment and Accreditation Council in second cycle. It is an ISO 900-12015 certified institute. GIBS has been rated A+ by State Fee Regulatory Committee, a fee committee of Government of NCT of Delhi, and rated highest grading A by Joint Inspection Committee of Government of NCT of Delhi and GGSIP University. It has been rated Grade A by Academic Audit Cell of GGSIP University consecutively from past 8 years. Also, GIBS has been rated as number 2 Pan-India by Times Business School Survey in 2018, 2019 and 2021. GIBS Alumni Lecture Series is a series of lectures featuring speakers, often past alumni, who are leaders in business, finance, economics, entrepreneurship, law, and other diverse areas. The session have provoking discussions, engaging topics, and networking with alumni with the objective of bridging the gap between the alums and the current batches. Alumni can help in advocating students' placement at their respective organization, and connecting with them can help the students in building the professional networking platforms. The lecture series fulfilling the following objectives: to trace the journey of transformation from a student to a successful business professional, to create adequate facilities of updating knowledge of students to meet growth and developmental needs of the industry, to promote closer interaction between the academic field and the professional field for understanding challenges confronted at workplace, to cultivate mutually beneficial and lasting relationships with one another. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Sakshi Jain, an alumni of BBLLB 2021 University second position holder, achieved great academic credentials, participated in various activities, and have been of the core team for organizing the National Moot Court and national debate competitions. Received the Best Memorial Award in Delhi University National Moot Competition. Worked with United IPR on the trademark prosecution and got a chance to learn the practicality of intellectual property rights, trademark registration from the grassroots level. Gained experience about the court procedures and worked on different aspects of law like intellectual property rights, arbitration, Delhi Rent Control Act, and Negotiable Instruments Act. She also worked at Delhi State Legal Service Authority. Please welcome her to share the experience with us. Ma'am, you are not audible.
Hello everyone, my name is Sakshi Jain and I have been a student of BBLLB batch 2016 at GIBS. I am presently enrolled with the Bar Council of Delhi. I'm here to tell you about my journey at GIBS. The, the introduction was really overwhelming, thank you so much. So as you all know that we were the first batch of BBLLB GIBS. So it was a very new experience, not only for us, but for the college also. We all were unaware that how do we get started or how will we end up in this journey of becoming a lawyer. The first question that was asked to us always was that why did we choose law as a career? And we honestly had no answers for that in the very first year. So the constant efforts and guidance through our teachers that helped us groom so much that we now know that why choosing law as a career option was actually a successful and a good decision. It has always been a two-way process for us. Like the college authorities always supported us with new ideas and suggestions that we brought up and helped us grow in areas in which the other colleges were excelling. In second year, I remember that we were exposed to inter college intra-college moot court competitions wherein the teachers posed as judges and we used to be lawyers on the relevant and the present court proceedings at that time. So it was not, at first we considered it as a burden, like why are we doing this and why do we have to go through all this is so much pain, and we had so many assignments, so many exams. But later on, when I realized that these things were really important for grooming us, because other colleges were also doing it, and it was our suggestion that we should also be inculcated into moot courts and competitions like that. So in third year, I got the opportunity to actually go for a national level moot court competition in Delhi University, and there I received the award of Best Memorial. So it was a prestigious award and it was an honor for both of us. That is that the college also and for us also, because it was the first award that a college received where we as students represented our college and won the prestigious award. So I remember during the time when I was making this memorial that we had to stay back in college for 4 to 5 hours after our classes, and sometimes we had to also miss our classes to go and search, have research in the journals, books. We searched Manu Patra, we searched FCC online. We undergo uh, a lot of researchers, so we did not miss any chance to do any research which was not, which was out of uh, our research area. Like, we had to research a lot. We spent 4 to 5 hours staying back in college. We came on Saturdays. We also asked various teachers to stay back for us, and honestly none of the teachers said no to us. They all were very supportive, and they understood that we were going for a national moot court competition for the first time, so they gave us all the support they could. So I would like to show you my memorial, which I made during the time of winning the best memorial. Can you make me the presenter, please? Just a
Yeah,
second.
we have
Yeah,
made
yeah,
you the
sure.
presenter.
Yeah, just a second. Yeah, so this was my memorial. I hope you can see my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, your screen is clearly visible.
Yeah. So this was my memorial that made me win the Best Memorial Award. So the mood problem was based on female genital mutilation, which is a culture in the Muslim community. So yeah, here it is. This is for the petitioners. So this was the cover page, and this is a detailed list of table of contents. One copy of this memorial is also kept in the library, so you can have a look at that. Mm, yeah, so this was the list of abbreviations, as we were always told in our intra-college moot court competitions that these list of abbreviations, list of cases, all of these should be in alphabetical order. So it actually worked. Like, this is in alphabetical order. Similarly, list of cases is in alphabetical order. Then we also included international cases, UN conventions and declarations. We had to undergo, we learned all these statutes. We read all the provisions of these statutes because any question could be asked from us. Then there was, we went through these books, so many articles and journals, and these are some of which we had to include. This was the statement of jurisdiction. Then this is the statement of facts, and we also highlighted some of the important facts, like we bold these things. Then This was the statement of issues. Then these are the summary of arguments which we kept very crisp because they should not be long enough. Then these are the summary advance which we actually gave in our blood and sweat to search for these provisions, these paragraphs, and this was actually very difficult for us because it was our first national level moot court competition which was not in our college. So yes, it requires a lot of researching skills to make a memorial. It was blue book, so it was all the more tough for us because we were not exposed to blue book. So nowadays our college is also exposing you people to blue book format, so it is great. So we had a tough time while working on the blue book edition for formatting. Yeah, so this was the memorial. You can have a look at it in the library, right? Yes, so but I will also tell you that do not make these moot court competitions or any other competitions hamper your studies, because studies is also important. Like during my time, I used to study after college when my moot court competitions were over. I also asked teachers to give me extra lectures, which I thoroughly got from them. So I would like to say that do not miss on your classes, or do not you know leave studies behind because you think that moot court competitions will help, because studies also are important, because you won't know the law, so you won't be able to give in your 100% in moot court competition. I am very proud to say that I was a core team member of the first national moot court competition. It was a huge success. 50 teams participated in it. I remember one experience from that, which I would like to share with all of you. So we had shortage of some supplies during the competition. So we approached the VC sir directly and he immediately gave us the solution to the same. This showcases that our college is transparent and we are exposed to the direct people, and we do not have to follow the hierarchy if we are facing any grievance. So it is also important that I would also like to bring up something which is very important, which I know most of you are doing at present because ninth semester students must be knowing this. But for the seventh semester students, third year is one of the most crucial years where you learn CPC, CRPC along with evidence. So you have to understand that at that point of time you have to know the path where you want to go in future, because first 2 years you don't know the law much, you don't know what are the consequences, what are the challenges that you might be facing in further life. But in third year you know the law, you know how you have to proceed, and you learn the important aspects of law. So according to me, I want to tell you that you should know where you want to go, where what you want to choose in career. Like if you want to go for civil, you want to go for criminal, or you want to go for corporate, it is very important that you decide it in the third year, because from third year you will be going for internships, you will be going for many other things wherein it will be important that you stick where you want to go in future. Like one of the important things is writing articles or research papers is very important, and getting them published, not only writing them but getting them published into good journals, so it will help you getting good internships. Like I will share my experience. Like I started writing papers when the seminar paper subject was introduced to us. So I chose banking and finance and I wrote a paper on personal loans. So from there, Shivangi ma'am told me that I have written a very good paper and I should get it published with a good journal. So I got it published with Prasang. And then later on, I wrote other papers which I got published. Also, I wrote a very important paper which I feel is important for me because it was legal compacts against COVID-19. So it included a section regarding intellectual property rights and its impact. What are the impacts on this field during the COVID time? So from there, I got the encouragement to actually pursue my career into intellectual property rights. So you see, the paper that I wrote played an important role where I chose where to go in future, right? So that was where, and I got it published into the International Journal for Legal Research and Analysis. I've done various other publications. So I believe that you should actually write papers and get them published, and choose papers of your interest, not just for the sake of it and just getting it published. Choose papers which are of your interest, right, where you want to go, so that you can showcase the people taking interviews or anything, that you have written papers and what is your opinion at that point. Also, as it was mentioned, that I have done internship with two tier 2 firms, that is United IPR and Intel Advocate, in the field of intellectual property right. Because I will say again, because I realized that in fourth year, I realized that I can pursue intellectual property right as my career option. So in fourth year, when I read intellectual property rights, I was like, yeah, okay, fine, I can do this. But when I actually interned with United IPR and Intel Advocate, I remember that and theory and practical life is different. I know the theory, but how the work is done is taught in internships. So I would always suggest you guys that you should always go for internships where you have interest. Don't just do internships for the sake of it, that yeah, it is available, I do it. Don't do it like that. Do it where you have interest. I understand that interests might vary when you work, you might not like it, but then try to focus that in the next internship you go for an internship where you like, where you want to see yourself 5 years down the line. So my experience with United IPR was amazing. I was told the practicality live, and I was exposed to various documents which needs to be drafted, which was not honestly not told during the theoretical lectures. And at Intel Advocate, I was told from the root how a trademark prosecution starts, the steps, the procedure. I was told everything during that internship. So yeah, internships are very important. However, on this topic as to how to grab internships in big firms and how to make resumes, cover letters, and all, my fellow speaker would be talking to you about that. I would suggest you guys that do not take pressure, enjoy your college life, have your own achievements and struggles. I would also say that our college is very open and accepting to new ideas. So feel free to tell the college authorities about what you feel should be added to the curriculum, and college would definitely consider your suggestions, as through my personal experience, they've always heard us and have done their best in fulfilling our needs as budding lawyers. Thank you. If you guys have any questions, please ask me.
Uh, Sakshi, I think you can throw some light on your internship.
So, according to me, internships are very important. So, I have not done internships. Like in starting, I was not aware of where I have to go. So, I have done internships in firms which have given me litigation experience. So, during second year and third year, I was inclined towards litigation. But when I went for moot courts, or when I realized that my internships were not giving me fully I was not satisfied with the work, or I was not indulged into litigation, because I believe that I am more towards a corporate person. So I realized that I should go for something which I believe is more towards a corporate field, right? So I went for United and Intel, and it was a struggle. I would seriously say that attaining internships in these firms was a struggle, because I literally irritated United IPR by calling them after every 7 days to grant me an internship, to give me the opportunity to work with them. I sent them various mails attaching my published articles, my CV, everything, and I also called them every 7 days. They were literally irritated by me by the end, that why are you calling us so much? But I actually needed the opportunity to work with them, learn what is the practicality. So, and because of United IPR, I got an opportunity to work with Intel Advocate, because I had experience with uh, intellectual property. So yeah, that was my struggle for attaining internships. Right now, I'm also looking for placements, so I am applying in about hundreds of firms to get an opportunity to work with them. So yeah, it is a struggle in law. You're on your own, so you have to attain good internships. And one more advice to all the juniors, especially the ninth semester students, that if you want to get a good internship in 10th semester, start applying from now on. Ask them what, whenever the slot is available, grab it, because it is not sooner the later situation here. It is, you grab it as soon as possible. You grab it, because it is important. In 10th semester, you don't get it so easily, especially the assessment internship. Start applying from today. Keep following up every 7 days, 10 days. Literally, you will be able to grab in an internship for 6 months, because if you get an internship for 6 months, only then you can get a PPO. Please work and try to get a PPO. I was offered a PPO in my third year internship, but I did not go there because it was litigation based. So I would really suggest you all to work to the fullest and get a PPO if possible from a 6 month internship. That is for the ninth semester students.
Sakshi, one more point I would like to ask from your side, because you are the second position holder at university level. So
Yes.
please guide all the students that how can others get the position of second or first at university level.
Uh, so honestly, my struggle was for more. It was for 3 years, because fourth and fifth year were mostly online. So the college introduced a very good portal for online studies as well. So attaining second rank was a struggle, because at first we were not aware of how to study or how to make notes, or uh, or anything like that. So in first semester, we were introduced to our teacher who was our contracts lecturer. So he was Mr. Harshal sir, and he actually taught us how to make notes and how to study if you really want to know the depth of a law. So from there on, I started making notes for anything that was taught to us. I will not say that I used to come home and revise what teachers said and anything of that sort. It's just that I did not study one day before the exam. I started studying for 1 month before the exam, and honestly, I would say that the college arranged the internal exams, and they were actually really beneficial, because it at that time we used to study the full syllabus. So to gain good marks in internals, we studied our whole syllabus. So for the externals, it was only a revision thing. So it was very, very beneficial for us that the college conducted internals. Though we considered it as a burden, that why are they doing so many exams in other colleges? There are no so many exams. We all always scribed about such exams, but when the externals came, we always appreciated those exams, because mostly half of the more than half, I would say, more than half of the preparation was done during internals only. So it was that very moment that I studied for internals also, and I revised for the externals. So this was my mantra for getting the rank, and honestly, I maintained the consistency. Like I was consistently working, and I was always studying something new. So yeah, it helped me in gaining the position.
Thank you, Sakshi. So now over
Thank you.
to other students. They can ask their questions. I know some achievers are
Hi,
there in this.
Sakshi.
Yes, Kavya.
Hi, Sakshi.
Yeah.
Kavya this side.
Hi,
So,
Kavya.
what is your advice as to how should we make notes while any lecture is going on in class?
See, I'm not saying that you make notes while lecture is going in the class. So, like, I know that teachers send you the PPTs and they send you ample amount of notes which they make, which is possible to them. Like, I was always taught by Amanpreet ma'am, so I've always received very good notes from her, and I've always studied them. But yeah, you asked me how to make notes. So firstly, in class, when the Bear Act is being taught, you always underline the important points on which the teachers focus on. Like in some sections, I remember like when I was taught evidence by Shivangi ma'am. Shivangi ma'am made me write notes during the lecture in the Bear Act. My Bear Act is full with my pencil, which I have made notes wherever she stressed upon that this is important. And also, I would also suggest you that for case laws, do visit the comment section in your Bear Act. It is very important, right? And for notes, I would suggest that the books that are given in our book banks, most of them are pretty good books. So, and the library is also full of books. Always you can take a book, you can issue the book, take home, study from that, and make notes. Like I cannot share right now what one of my notes, but if you want, I can mail some of the notes to you, and you can see how I made notes because in CPC, I will say CPC because it was one of my favorite subjects. So in CPC, my notes were like they were actually like a book. So you could just read my notes and you'll pass the subject. So it was like that. So you have to study that much that you do take the book, make notes, make extra paragraph, and then you remember them and write it in the paper. That's it.
Thank you so much. I'd love to have a glance at your notes if you could
Yes,
share
sure.
some of yours.
Yes, sure.
Thank you
Sorry.
so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was such an encouraging session. Now, I would
Thank
like to invite Mr. Rohan Jain, alumni from BBA LLB 2021 batch, highly dedicated and motivated techno-legal graduate focused in corporate law, information technology law, and intellectual property rights law, working as legal trainee in Oxford University Press, Noida, to share the journey from campus to corporate. Over to you, sir.
Hi, hello everyone. Good afternoon. So whole heart, I thank you everyone for staying this long in this meeting and coming to hear us, your college alumni. So I wanted to return you something and provide you insights related to legal industry that might be helpful for you to make an entry after your college days. I was a few days back. I was having a conversation with Shivangi ma'am that I'm getting opportunities related to internships and pre-placement offers, but I have no medium to communicate it to my juniors. So there should be a certain medium where we can communicate with each other and share opportunities with each other. Surprisingly, I got a call from Shivangi ma'am after 1 or 2 days that we are organizing this alumni series, so you are invited for this. I immediately said yes to her. So, in college, we do not get along with each other due to some reasons or the other. But I hope from this platform we can communicate with each other today. I hope it is a two-way conversation. And I want to tell you that something about myself. I won't repeat what Sakshi has told you now, because I was a part of same batch, and I am currently associated with JLZ offices as an associate, and also with Oxford University Press. I got a PPO from JLZ offices in my fifth year, and currently I also, this organization with I am associated with, it provides you an opportunity to work for their clients as well, and I can also have my clients. So this kind of opportunities can also be available to you after you get passed out from your college. And let me tell you what I have not achieved in my college. I have never been a topper in even a single semester. I have I have participated in national and international moot court competitions and debate competitions, but I have never won a single award in those competitions. And I'm also not being a CEO, managing partner, or senior partner of any organization that is founded by students only. But what I have achieved during college days was I have secured internships in top tier law firms, and as well as government departments also, including DCPCR. And apart from this, I have publications on my name, which is published on industry recognized forums and platforms. I have also filed case against Flipkart in my fifth year, and I hopefully it may be passed ex parte in next 2 or 3 hearings against the one single party, not Flipkart. And this is my achievement till now. And what I believe is was the biggest achievement. I was able to change the point of view of a managing partner of a law firm located in South Delhi, that not only NLU students can do everything, but students from other colleges can also have an impact on an organization. So because of that, he appreciated me in front of every employee and interns, and offered me PPO in front of everyone. So that was a great moment for me. And now he remembers the name of a college. And yes, I think there might be few questions, as you are all in seventh and ninth semester, regarding what should be your area of specialization, how to make an entry, how cover letters and applications should be drafted and sent, and how to get response from these organizations. Even if it is a rejection, you should get at least a response. So how to communicate with them? You should have a skill, and you should have a strategy to how to communicate with them. And apart from this, you might also be thinking that there should be certain earning opportunities in the fourth or fifth year as well, even if it is a 4 or 5 thousand a month. So I will clear all your queries regarding this. Starting from area of specialization, I think what I've done, it can also be done by you all. Uh, for choosing area of specialization, I suggest you it should not be only single. It should be double, or it should be three on, because you should keep your options open after you pass out from a college and enter into a legal industry. Because at the moment you pass, for example, if you have specialized, if you have studied, and if you have done internships in trademark and copyright law, and you have publications in same domain, and after you pass out you see opportunities related to cyber law, you won't be considered for that. So keep 2 3 as your specialization, as your focus subjects on which you have to study hard. You have to do internships in those areas, and you have to publish articles or research paper in those domains. And after you choose this, and this must be the first criteria, that you should have 2 or 3 specialization. Second, you must have interest in those subjects. Third, it should have a economic value. And fourth, consider what type of clients you will receive, or wherever you do a job, what types of clients they will receive, and with whom you will work. This is the matter that impacts your first salary, how much you will get, what will be offered to you by the organizations. So keep these things in mind before choosing what you want to do after 5 years course. Second question might be, if you have chosen the area of specialization, what should be the procedure to approach these organizations for internships? Most of you might have done only one or two internship which are made compulsory by the by the college itself as a part of curriculum. But I suggest you to do internships apart from that also whenever you get time. Even if after getting off from college, you can do internships. You can assist lawyers in research work, drafting work, or anything else. But it should be not that you should only do two or three internships, because the more experience you show to the organization, the more they will be interested in you to hire you after 5 years course. And how to approach them, how to choose such organization with whom you should intern, these might be the question. But I suggest you should go on LinkedIn and make a profile, have yourself clicked with a professional photographer, and upload and make your profile good. Then send connection requests to the partners, senior associates and associates. As far as I know, associates and senior associates will only have power to recommend you, not to hire you. They will recommend your profile to the senior partners or managing partners. So keep this in mind while approaching them, to whom you have to send the request. Second, after doing connection request thing, then you have to apply for them. You have to send cold emails or message them directly that, sir, I hope you are keeping well, and I am interested in working for your organization as an intern. I have been applying for this and this time, but I have received no response from your side. The purpose is you have to bring it to their notice that you are interested in their organization and you want to apply for the same. And you will also face that there are 200, 600, 700 applicants for a single role, even though if it is for an intern. Actually, I'm tell you the experience that I faced while hiring an intern at JLJL offices. There was a single vacancy for an intern, and there were around 150 to 200 applications. Even the graduates and enrolled advocates were applying for internships. This is the current situation of the market due to COVID. So after getting internships, bring them, while you are applying to them, you should not only send cold emails, you should also try to directly contact them. Firstly, you should contact through email, then through LinkedIn message option, then through calls also. So purpose is to bring to their knowledge that you are interested. So while selecting, they might recall that such and such applicant had approached me through LinkedIn or email or phone, that he or she is interested. Okay. Then you have to approach, after approaching them, there might be two or three things that may happen. They may, you know, straightforwardly ignore you, or they may read the message and reply you a rejection. And also they may tell you that they will look at your profile and tell you that whether you are selected or not, and thereafter they won't respond. And sometimes you may get a direct offer that you can intern from this and this day to from a organization. So from this strategy, I got internship at top tier law firm, which you might be knowing that Potter and Company and RNA is located in Gurgaon and as well as Pune. Uh, After this, getting internships on your resume, and what you have to do is you have to see at the job descriptions that are in the market. Search for the keywords that they are asking for from an prospective employee. Enter those keywords in your resume. If it is written that they require a candidate who has a good communication skill, verbal communication skill, and you have written in your resume that it is a oral communication skill that you have, change it from oral to verbal, because you want to show that what you are asking for, I have that. So this might be helpful for them and you as well to select a candidate. Okay, and then after getting this, you should have publications related to that particular law. Suppose, let me give you a situation that suppose you are a hiring manager. I came to you that I want to apply for a position, and I told you that I have experience in IPR, IT law, and consumer protection law. And Sakshi comes to you, she shows you that she has experience in IBC and company law, and you want to hire for a company law candidate. Will I be hired? No. You will select Sakshi. to apply to those positions for which you are a successful or a suitable candidate, and you have publications and internships related to that law, there will be a high chance that you will be selected for that. And after having publications and internships in particular 2 3 fields of law in which you want to specialize, it will be a great chance for you to get internship and pre-placement offer in your final year. So this is the thing. And if you want resumes, cover letters, or a LinkedIn cold message or email templates, I can send you. You can ask from me through LinkedIn or from college teachers. They can contact me. I can share with them, and you can take the templates. That can be helpful for you to secure internships and TPOs in your final year. Further, you might be having a question related with how you can earn. Whenever you intern with an organization, try to build a relationship or a connection with the senior partners because they are the sole decision makers in an organization. And not only them, but you can also build a good connection with the associates, even junior associates, because they have a power of reference. They can refer you to the partners. So whenever you build a good relationship with them, you can contact them at the end of internship. Sir, I have few connections. My friends and my family and my other connection group ask me for advice. So if I bring them to you, can you provide them your legal services and can I get a commission on that basis? Most of the lawyers will say yes to you. It is my personal experience, and I have earned 10,000, 15,000 a month just because of this. That they provide me counseling fees and the rest of the work they do and they get the fees. And additionally, I say to them that those clients which I get to you and I bring to you, please, apart from the counseling fees, bring me into the process. I have to learn that how this work is performed practically from the perspective of practical approach. Okay, uh, from JSL offices and other 2 3 independent lawyers, I they said yes to me for this. And I haven't approached in my initial years regarding this with the law firms or independent practitioners, but try to approach at the end of internship when you have completed each and every task they have allotted to you. Not in the situation that they have allotted you the work and you have not you know done their work and ask for sir, can you please give me permission, for the client that are being to you. So, and apart from this, you can do it, content writing work, freelancing work. You can sign up on Upwork or Fiverr. These are the platforms where you can get a work from the clients that are in the foreign countries. They pay you much better than the Indian law firms or Indian practitioners. And you can also file consumer protection cases on your behalf, like on your friend's behalf or your relatives or your connections, from wherever you get the client. Because wakalatnama is not required from them in such cases. You can, file an application that I am, authorized by certain such person to represent them before you in the consumer forum. Uh, this is the earning opportunity. There are plenty of options similar to these. You can search for this. I got to know about this opportunity from LinkedIn platform. LinkedIn is the platform where 80 to 90% opportunities are posted by the law firms, companies as well, and the independent practitioners. They hire from that platform only. Most of you might be searching opportunities on Law Octopus or Niti Shastra, these type of organizations. They take these opportunities from only LinkedIn as well. Most of the opportunities. So the approach of yours should be to directly and as soon as possible approach people on LinkedIn. And if you do not know whom to approach, you can search on Google the top law firms in India or Delhi or NCR region related to IPR, IT, or any other law in which you want to intern. You can go to LinkedIn and search their profile page, and there is a section of people where you will get to know that certain person is posted as a managing partner, associate or senior associate or an HR. You can communicate with HR on also, but they usually do not respond to applicants who want to intern. Apart from this, the best advice that I can give you is to prepare and sign up as soon as possible on LinkedIn, because it is the platform that provides you opportunities and is full of opportunities. You can not only get opportunities, you can get advice from senior counsels as well, because they usually regularly post on that what you do during your 5 year course, and what is the legal industry scenario in today's time. You will get updates from LinkedIn platform only, and even the recent developments also are posted by people there. Apart from this, uh, what I've faced during in corporate life is I have faced many rejections. If I've sent 100 applications to law firms or companies, 90% of them have not responded, and 4 5 may have responded but have rejected me. 2 or 3 have offered, but offered salaries like I can give you traveling expenses and all. This is the current situation due to COVID. But whenever you approach to connection or your personal relationship that you have developed while interning with the organization, that will definitely provide you much better remuneration in comparison to the other with whom you have not interned. So basically, you should focus on learning as well as building connections during your 5 year course, and it is better to start as early as soon as possible. Further, you might also face that that this work can be performed by you in a better way, in a time effective manner, but you hesitate to tell it to the senior partner or associate with. My advice to you will be that just communicate it with them, because they will either accept or reject. Nothing more than this can happen to you. What I have experienced this was, associate has provided me claims and said that you have to draft a written statement of this. For this, they have scanned copies of me. So we have to type each and everything and write this. I deny this. This has been denied. It's only denied. Each and every fact has to be denied, and we have to type each and everything. So I suggested them you can use OCR software by which you can convert these files into a text editable format. So this suggestion was accepted by them, and they said to me that if we used to know this earlier thing, then our task will be much easier to perform. So you can provide them, and these are the certain small things by which you can impress your seniors. That certain things which they do not know. So this thing impress them, and they can offer you a PPO. If PPO is usually offered to those candidates only can add value to their organization, not to each and everyone. So just try to bring or add some value to their organization during your internship. Do not be a burden to them. Do not ask each and everything immediately. Search before asking. This is my suggestion to you. And I have also faced, and you might also face, while court proceedings that judge is not hearing to you. In today's scenario, most of the hearings are done through video conferencing. You join the meeting, but judge do not recognize you that and mark your absence. So these are small things that you might face in your corporate life or post college life if you enter into a legal industry. And if you require any template, any advice, or want to know about any earning opportunity or internship, I am there to help you. You can contact me through LinkedIn or through policy.
Thank you so much, sir. It was such an encouraging session. Students, if you want to ask some questions.
Could
Now
you
the
please
platform
share
is
your
open for a
experience
question and
with
answer. Harpreet, yeah.
Can you please share your experience with DPCW?
had internally DCPCR. At there, we used to, take complaints, advise parents about their children. They face problems like, tears falling in the ground that might be dangerous for their children while they play, activities in the ground. And some schools were, not taking students in their virtual classes because fees has not been paid. So these were the grounds that they want to oppose to the schools. They approach us and we help them in that. You will get an opportunity when you enter the GCPCR. You will get to opportunity to advise and counsel the prospective candidates who want to file or take action against the schools as well. So it is a good opportunity, but no fashion will be taken.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to ask both sir and ma'am to provide us with their email IDs in the chat box if possible. On behalf of Gibbs, I extend a really hearty vote of thanks to our speakers, Sakshi ma'am and Rohan sir, who spared time from their busy schedule to grace the occasion. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. This will surely be going to encourage us in our future events. Now, on behalf of Gibbs, I express my heartfelt thanks to all the delegates who have made this event a huge success with their participation. I would also like to thank the organizing team, students, teachers, and staff members for making this lecture series a success. Thank you all.